Hello everyone, welcome to our Python tutorial series. Today we are going to learn about if condition, for and while loop. Let's get started with if condition. So if is just a condition. With the help of condition, we can decide whether we do perform the action or not. Let's see the syntax of if condition. The syntax starts with if keyword, then followed by the condition, ends with colon, then intent. There we write the code that need to be executed. Okay, now we will see some examples for that. I'm going to initialize a variable called number is equal to 5. Now I'm writing if condition following the same syntax. If variable name, making this condition greater than 0, ends with colon, enter. Now if this condition succeed, I need to print the number is positive. Now we get the output, the number is positive. How this action happens? So here first I initialize the variable called numbers is equal to 5. If this number, here we have number is equal to 5. If the number is greater than 0, yes, it is greater than 0, then it's entering into this block of code and performing the action. Done. So we got the output, the number is positive. Let's see one more example. Here I'm going to initialize new variable called number 1 equal to -3. I'm writing my if condition. If number is greater than 0, colon, next line always starts with intent. Intent is nothing but 4 spaces here. So I'm writing my print statement. The number is positive. Okay, done. Now here we are going to see one more thing. If suppose the number is less than 0, what we can do? Yeah, still we can write one more condition by mentioning elif statement. Elif, it follows the same syntax of if, mentioning the variable. Now I'm mentioning different condition, less than 0, ends with colon, again intent. Here I'm printing the statement, the number is negative. Yeah, if the number is positive, I can print number is positive. If the number is less than 0, I can print the number is less than 0. Here is the case. If my number 1 is 0, what can I do? In that case, we can use else. What else can do? If condition 1 fails and then condition 2 also fails, then it will execute the code which is inside the else condition. Okay, so now I'm writing print, the number is 0. Cool. So now I have initialized number 1 is equal to -3. So first what will happen? My number 1 is equal to -3. So now let's execute this code. So see, my number 1 is a variable. Here I am having -3. -3 is greater than 0? No. Then automatically it will not enter inside the if block. It will move to the next condition. So here it will come and see -3 we have in number 1. If -3 is less than 0, yes, it is. it is printing the particular thing to here. Okay, done. I hope now everyone gets some clarity with if, elif and else. We have seen with some practical examples. Now we are moving for loop. So what is for loop? For loop is used to iterate over a sequence of elements. Sequence of data type we have seen in our previous video, like list, tuple, set. So here with the help of for loop, we can iterate over each element. Let's see the syntax of for loop. For loop syntax starts with for keyword, then any element, this is the variable name, in the particular sequence. Ends with colon, we should do indent. There we need to write code to be executed. Okay, so this is the syntax for. Let's see some examples. Here I'm going to initialize a variable called num. Num is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So let's define our for loop. For number. Number is my variable. I'm going to store each element. As per syntax, I need to mention in. Then I have to mention the sequence name. Here what is my sequence name? So this is my sequence name. I have to enter my sequence name here. Num. Ends with colon. Then we have to make an intent. Print number. So I'm just running this cell. Here we got the output. Now we will see how this for loop works. First, for number in number. First it will take element by element in the list. So first for number in num, 1 will be here. So now I have number is equal to 1. Okay, let's write it here. Now I have number is equal to 1. So entering into the block of code. So I'm performing this print. So I'm printing this 1. Now once this part has been performed, it will again trigger the for loop. So now what is the number? So it will loop over to the next number. So now number has 2. My number is equal to 2. So here we need to print the number. So 2 has been printed. Next it will loop to 3. So now number is having 3. Printing the number 3. We have 3. So in that way until 5 it will print the number. Once the sequence has been ended, the loops get over. We'll see one more example. Here we are going to combine for loop with the control statement like if or else, if and else. Okay, so here for example we again going to initialize a number. Here again we are going to initialize the variable. Here again we are going to initialize a variable x is equal to list of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, now the variable has been initialized. Now I am going to write a for loop. What is the syntax for loop? For any variable I'm going to keep number in. Here I have to mention the sequence name. My sequence name is here is x colon, making intent. Here I'm looping over one element by element in the sequence x. Here I'm going to define my condition with the help of if statement. So if number modulus 2 equal to 0 ends with colon making intent. Print number is even. Okay, now I'm going to execute this program. Cool. So what happened here? So I have a sequential data type. X is a list here. I'm looping over the X. So I'm taking first number as 1. So making condition over the number. Right now I have 1 module 2. Module 2 is nothing but it will gives us the remainder. So 1 divided by 2, it gives us the remainder 1, which is not equal to 0. So the following code will not get performed. So once the condition fails, it again goes for the for loop. For loop will loop for the next element. Now I have 2. My number is 2. 2 divided by 2. The remainder is 0. The condition satisfies. Now the print statement will execute. Now I have 2 in my number. So 2 is printed here. The same way it will loop through 3. 3 divided by 2. The remainder is 1. So the condition fails. So the print statement will not get executed. Then the for loop will move to the next one. 4 divided by 2 is equal to 0. Yes. So it will enter into the block of code. So the 4 is even. The statement has been printed. So likewise, it will loop till 10 until the end of sequence list. Then the loop will get over. So this is the concept here. It's very simple as far as Python. So I hope you have understood this. Now we got some understanding about if, for, if with, else. So here we are going to calculate sum of numbers in the list. For that, I'm going to initialize my list called num1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more variable, I'm initializing it as 0. Then I'm going to create my for loop. For I need to loop over each element in my sequence data type, which I have named as num1. So I'm going to take each element which is I in my sequence data type num1 ends with colon indent. So here I need to write my logic. Sum equal to sum plus I. Okay, now I'm getting out of my loop. Finally I'm printing the final sum here. I'm just executing my code. Okay, yes, my final sum is 15. So now we're going to see one more example. Now we're going to see how this happened. With the help of for loop, I'm going to iterate each element in my list num1. So first I'm taking I is equal to 1. So now I have I is equal to 1. What is my sum? Sum is initialized as 0. Now we will perform this logic. Sum plus I. So sum is 0 plus I is equal to 1. So this is my first iteration. Next, this loop is incomplete. Now I am going to do the next iteration. So now I is equal to 2, sum is equal to 1. I am going to perform the logic. Sum is equal to 1, I is equal to 2, so 3. Then sum is equal to 3, I is equal to 3, so 6. Then I am coming to this. So sum is equal to 6, I is equal to 4, now 10. Now I am coming to this iteration. Sum is equal to 10, I is equal to 5. So my answer is 15. So this is my final answer. There is no remaining elements in my list. So the loop gets overed here. It moved to the final statement print. So it's going to print the sum. Now sum has the value 15. So my answer is 15. Done. Next example, we're going to see the string. So in this case, I'm going to initialize a variable with the string. So my message is equal to hello world. So my task here is to print each and every character individually. So what can I do? Simply using for loop. So for character in my sequential data type, that is string. What is my string name here? Message. Here I'm going to perform my print statement character. Executing the code. Here I got the answer as each and every character has been printed. So same way, for loop is iterating each and every element in the string variable. First it will loop through H, next E, next L, L, O, this is white space, and W, O, R, L, D. Now here I'm going to have one exercise for you. The task is finding the maximum number in a list. So my input list is number test is equal to, I have 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 7. So in this list you need to find the maximum number. So that is the exercise for you. So the next we're going to see while loop. Here while loop also we have condition, but here it repeats the block of code until the condition becomes false. So don't confuse with if and while. If will not iterate over the elements. It's just a conditional statement. While can iterate over the elements until the condition is false. We'll see the example. So before that, we'll see the syntax for the while loop. So this is the syntax. So while, then condition, colon, then with the indent we need to write our code that need to be executed. Okay. Now we'll see the one example, creating a new cell. So my task is to printing numbers from 1 to 5. Here my task is to print number from 1 to 5 using a while loop. So how can I do that? So first we need to initialize a variable count is equal to 1. Now as per the syntax, I'm creating while with the condition count is less than or equal to 5, ends with colon. Then here I'm writing my code that needs to be performed. Print count. I need to change the variable. I can add 1 or minus 1. So here I need to make some changes to the count variable. So I am adding 1. Whenever we enters into the block of code, count will get add 1. So now executing the cell, now we got the output. Let's see how this get executed. First I have initialized my variable count is equal to 1. Now getting into the condition. Now what I have in my count? 1. 1 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, condition satisfies. So it's entering into the block. So here I'm telling to print the count. So it will print the count is equal to 1. Correct. Now I'm asking to update the count variable with count plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So 2 will get updated to the count. Now my count is 2. 2 is less than or equal to 5. Second time it's the condition satisfies. So it entering into the block. So printing 2. Now again I'm asking to update the count with count plus 1. So 3. The same way it will get repeated until the count value is greater than 5. Once the count value gets equal to 6, 6 is less than or equal to 5, the condition fails, then the code gets stopped. Okay, done. I'm creating the new cell. Here we are going to see one more example. My task is to calculate the sum of numbers from 1 to 10 using while loop. So how we can solve this? So for that, first I'm going to initialize the variable sum is equal to 0, then one more variable number is equal to 1. This is the stage where I'm doing my initialization. Okay, now I'm going to write my while condition following the syntax while keyword space my variable name, writing the condition less than or equal to 10 colon sum equal to sum plus number. So the same way I'm going to add one number to my variable number is equal to number plus 1. The same thing you can write as number plus equal to 1. Both has same meaning. Now at last I need to print my sum is sum. Okay, so now I'm running this code. So see, my sum is 55. So what happened here? The same way I have initialized sum is equal to 0, number is equal to 1, checking the condition. Now I have 1 in my number, 1 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, the condition satisfies, so it's entering into the block. So sum is equal to sum plus number. What is my sum? Sum is 0 as of now. Sum plus number is 1, so equal to 1. So I have sum as 1. Then I'm going to add 1 to my number and I need to update. So number will get add 1. Already number has 1, now it has plus 1, so my number is 2. Done. So now my number is 2. 2 is less than or equal to 10. Second time number condition satisfies. So sum plus number. So again now sum is 1, number is 2. So again it is 3. The same way it's keep iterating until the condition fails. Once the number gets the value 11, it will come here. 11 is less than or equal to 10. The condition fails. Then the program gets stopped and it will finally come to perform this last print statement. So far the sum has value 55. So that is what printed here. Done. So now we'll see break. So here we have the definition for break statement. If you want, you can note it down. So break statement we used to make exit a loop prematurely, irrespective of the condition. So we'll see the example here, you come to understand very clearly. So I have the same number. I'm going to initialize number is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to write my for loop for num in my list, sequence list, num in number ends with colon, intent. I'm going to write my if condition if number modulus of 2 equal to 0. Going to write the number is even. Okay, here for loop will iterate over each and every element in the number list. If will check the condition, what condition? Modulus of 2. So that I have explained earlier, modulus of 2 will give the remainder. If the remainder is equal to 0, then the number is even. If not, the number is odd. So once the print statement has been executed, I don't want to repeat it further. I will use break. Once there is a break, the loop will not execute further. It's that simple as that. So here I'm going to execute the cell. So sorry, I need to mention my element variable. Okay, num. So I'm going to execute. So the number is even. Only one time it's got executed. So what happened here? First it will take num1 from the number. Num1 model of 2 equal to 0. It fails. So again it will not enter inside the if condition. So it will move to the next iteration. So it will take 2. So now 2 mod 2 equal to 0. Yes, the condition satisfied. So it will enter into the block. It will execute the print statement first. So the number is even has been in the printed in the output console. Next, break statement. Once it see the break, the loop gets stopped executing. So now that's it. The program has got stopped. Next, we will see continue. Here is the definition for continue. You can refer this. Continue will not break the loop, but it will skip the loop. So that's the only difference. So again, I'm going to write the same logic for continue here. So I'm having the same thing, but instead of break, I'm going to mention continue. Even you can mention the print statement before continue. That's up to you. But here, what will happen? So with the help of for loop, we can able to iterate over each element in my numbers list. So first I have numbers is 1. So 1 module 2 equal to 0. The condition fails. So it will not enter inside the if condition block. So it will print the number. So it will be here. Now my second time the number is 2. So 2 mod 2 equal to 0. Yes, the condition satisfies. So it will enter inside the block. So it has seen the keyword continue. So what continue does, it will make the program to skip the rest of the code and it will move on to the next iteration. So now here we have 3. So now we have 3. 3 module 2 is equal to 0. Condition fails. So it will print that statement. So the same way the program get executed. And this is the purpose of continue here. We'll meet you soon in next video with different Python concept. Thank you.